summer run to be a camp counselor in Maine.
Oh, okay.
So,
that's nice. Maine.
Yeah, she's going to be there for a couple months.
Okay.
And she does this thing where she does the music and arts and all this other mess.
Okay.
And then once that's done, then she makes her permanent move with her.
Okay. So you haven't had to
New
do
York
that.
City. No,
all
no,
right.
not yet.
All right. Well, that's
and
good.
by the way, she just threw stuff in her car and drove to Maine. Now, I was not involved in that.
That's good.
No.
That's good. I hope she made it up I-95. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I checked.
She's
in.
there.
I said, you weren't attacked by a grizzly. You're good. Yeah. She called me from camp over the weekend, so she made it. She survived.
Solid.
There's only one road through Maine. There's only one road in the whole state.
Is that not I-95?
That's it, right there. Have you ever been to Maine?
I have not. My mother went several times, and we have a very good family friend who spent I guess like your daughter spent summers in Maine, and just to this day, just I'll use the word, even though it probably is the wrong word for a geographic location, but just reveres Maine. Just absolutely sings its praises on a regular basis. But I've never. I've
never gone, man.
I'd like to.
My daughter loves it.
Oh, people!
And I've never gone.
People that visit. I'll give you an idea. Dan Patrick. Mm-hmm. Dan Patrick now, does, I don't know, 25% of his shows. He and his wife bought a place in Maine. And
really?
Yeah. And so now he instead, they have the Dan cave, like the man cave at the regular studio. Well, now they call it the Maine cave.
Okay.
And so they have it all
that's
souped
wild,
up, man, because he's like, oh yeah. And he goes in the winter. He was talking about buying, auger, where you drilled a hole in the ice for ice fishing.
Right.
He's like, man, I got it all up here now. So he's turned into a. But anyway, yeah, people love Maine. So
I'll be honest with you, man. I like my idea of Maine, and my daughter would go, Dad, it's beautiful. It's just not. I go. My idea is, I said to her, I go, sweetheart, now you spend 2 months at this camp killing your own food. You're wrestling grizzlies. What goes? I just look at Maine as Again, no indoor bathrooms. Maine is just it's outdoorsy.
I think they have.
Everybody's like Daniel Boone.
They have plumbing along the coast.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. I look at Maine.
I'll tell you how I know without having been, because my mother went to Maine.
Oh, she went there a bunch, so
And let me assure you, may she rest in peace. My mother was killing nothing on her own. She was not going to ever sleep outdoors. And there better be plumbing and air conditioning.
I'll tell you,
or
man,
heat, depending on the time of year.
I'll be honest with you. I did a couple of camping trips when I was younger, and I was so miserable. I hated both. Both were disasters.
Yeah.
I said to myself, never again in my life. So I've had people, like family, friends, go, hey, man, let's go camping. I go, that's cool. I'll drop you off at the campground. Yeah. I'm going to stay at the nearest nice hotel. My idea of camping is indoor shower, Wi-Fi, internet. Yeah. About 100 channels on the cable, and me laying in a bed with heat or air conditioning. I am not sleeping in a bleeping tent on the ground
Even
ever
when they
again.
have these people that now go glamping, which you've probably heard of. Where you get a generator and you've got a really nice tent. You can put a TV in there, and I'm like, well.
No, I'm outdoors still, right?
Yeah,
I'm sleeping still on the ground. No. Now I will do this. I've said to meet you all in the middle because I'm all about mediation.
Sure.
You get me a really nice camper.
Yeah.
That's tricked out with the things I like. I will sleep in the camper next to your tent.
That could work.
See, I'm again, man. I meet people in the middle,
but that hasn't happened yet.
No,
okay.
And I'm not. Yeah, Tara did that. It was. We won't go into it. One day I'll tell you my camping stories from hell that I will never ever. Didn't involve Freddy Krueger or.
Well, that's good.
Or anything
Jason
like that.
Voorhees.
It wasn't like Jason. It wasn't Camp Crystal Lake.
Okay,
Nobody was getting. But it just was miserable experience, and I never want to relive ever again.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well,
how about you?
But in the meantime, I hope your daughter is safe and having fun in Maine.
Yeah, she likes that stuff. She's staying in the log cabin.
She wants to be pursued by psychotic killers.
She wants to be chased by Jason and swim around in Camp Crystal Lake and get bugs crawl all over. She's all over that, man.
Sure. Well, somebody has to.
That's right. Somebody's got to do it.
That's who watches those movies.
Hey, as long as it ain't me.
That's right.
All right, we got a lot of stuff.
We do, man.
Wow.
We have
stuff has been breaking since you and I talked.
We have a lot of breaking news today. In fact, two very big stories. One perhaps bigger than the other because it's captured so much attention. But and I know Bill was just talking about it into his show. But if you've just tuned in, the NFL today did announce that there will not be a supplemental draft. It is up to them, regardless, as to whether or not to hold a supplemental draft. And, of course, Brendan Sorsby, the now ineligible, again, Texas Tech quarterback, who actually never played for Texas Tech, applied just a few days ago, and the NFL. I'll later. I can't read the whole letter, but I've selected a few paragraphs to give you an idea. But suffice it to say, the NFL let this kid have it.
Can I say this? I love what the NFL said.
I think it was the right thing to do as well.
Absolutely. I didn't think they were going to do this, Jay, to be honest, because they always care about talent and everything.
Right. Yeah, especially at that spot.
At that quarterback position.
Yeah.
But this goes to the heart of what you and I keep blathering about, the I word.
Yeah, integrity.
Integrity of the game.
Yeah, and they mentioned it several times. Now, they also said, in so many words, and again, we'll come back around to it, they were like, look, you didn't you waited a little too late. You didn't provide any information other than I want to play in the NFL, and we have some serious issues about your conduct, and we basically need more before we just open our league up to you. And reminded him, this is a privilege, not a right, but also, kind of closed with, look, get yourself where you need to be and enter the draft next April.
Yeah, and I thought that was the best way for the NFL to handle it. Hey, you can come in the draft next year, get your crap together, show us you got it together, and then we can trust you in our league, in our locker room, playing our game. And it is a privilege. It's not a right. And Kessler, the lawyer, obviously thinking he's still dealing with the NCAA.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the Players Association. Hey, Bub, do you know all this is collectively bargained?
Right. He said he's trying to say it's against the CBA. I don't think the NFL would act in a way that violated the CBA.
It's not. And here's the other thing. Let me throw this at you really quick. If you're the NFLPA, why are you going to go fight for this kid and a supplemental
this ain't
draft?
the hill to die on.
Heck no.
Right.
You're looking at Kessler and going, yeah.
I just can't.
And?
Look, I'm not a lawyer. The letter to Brendan Sorsby was written by the NFL's chief legal counsel.
Yes.
And I would have a really, 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 really difficult time believing that denying the supplemental draft or not wanting to hold a supplemental draft is a violation.
Well, they haven't had one in years.
And Sorsby isn't a member of the union. You don't get to join the union until you become a player.
Kessler's trying to play this card. He could be a player and part of your union, and you as players want to be able to have as many of you as possible. He's kind of playing that card of, hey, he could be a player. He's kind of sort of wanting to be a player.
Right.
And don't you want as many rights as you can as players? Hey, how about we go to court and fight? And then the NFLPA is going to go, no, dude, we don't, like you said, we choose the hills we want to die on.
Right.
This ain't one of them.
So it's, and we'll get some more detail for you in just a little bit, but it's, again, I don't want to say it was scathing, but it was definitely a reprimand and a scolding. They did a lot of the things that some others wanted to do but couldn't because they have the ability to do that. So
and the thing real quick, and we'll move on from it because we got so many things. I am pleasantly surprised that the NFL, instead of saying, well, we need all the quarterbacks we can get, and this kid was projected to be a late round first, maybe early to mid-second, so he's got skills, let's bring him in, what the heck, let teams figure out what they want to do. The NFL went, no. Dude, you bet on your own team.
Yeah, a lot.
We don't want any of that smoke.
Right.
And you need to understand something. We're going to get this out of the way right now. That bleep doesn't go here.
Right.
And we don't have to let you in this league. So you better get it together and then come see us NFL draft time next year, and we'll see what we're going to do.
I'm surprised. Well, let's talk about it later.
Real quick, one thing, too. Don't you think that was done not just for Brendan Sorsby, but for every player in the NFL?
Oh, it's a shot across the bow.
Everybody saw what the NFL just did to this kid.
Yeah, it's a shot across the bow.
Absolutely.
And that's what, it's what the NCAA was trying to do.
Yes.
Hey, you can't do that.
Well, you could if you're collectively bargaining.
Well, that's... the other big piece of news today is that the NCAA's Division I cabinet has voted unanimously to approve a new age-based eligibility model that would go into effect, I believe, next school year. And I know there were some clarifications. It's not quite official yet, but basically this is going to, and I think they changed, because remember, one of them was really confusing, Terry. It was like when you turn 19 or when you start college, and now basically it's like when you start college, you're 5 years. And that, I couldn't understand, like, well, what if I turn 19? Again, some people get held back for a variety of reasons: academics, medical.
Some get held back to be redshirted.
Redshirt, yeah. You know, I mean, I remember talking to somebody years and years ago. They held their little guy back, and the dad said, "Yeah, he's a redshirt first grader." And I was like, "That's great." You know, like I get it. But anyway, your college clock should start when you start college.
Yeah.
So if I don't start college, and what if I went to the Army for a couple of years? What if I went and played pro baseball for a couple of years? What if I took a gap year? What if I was on a Mormon mission? I mean, there's a lot of things.
You and I had this conversation that you want to open up yourself to getting sued in court. You put that hard 19.
You can't put the 19 in there. Like that's you can't do that.
Can't do it.
You know, so your college clock should start. And I'll look for the language. I don't have it in front of me here, but this just came down a few minutes ago from Pete Thamel. So we'll get you some details on that. Gamecock baseball has some big visitors on campus as part of the transfer portal. We'll touch on some of those names for you. From what I understand, no decisions have been made as of yet, but the visits are happening. And, of course, Will Craddock has already, he knows all about the program and the campus, but he had a little meeting of the minds with the new staff, and will still take his official visits to Georgia and to Mississippi State before he makes a decision on whether or not he wants to stay a Gamecock or move on inside the SEC. And speaking of that, and we'll touch more on it with details, but congratulations to Oklahoma, who had no issues with North Carolina last night. The final score in Game 3 of the College World Series Finals, 13-2.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure it was that close.
I don't think it was that close. Honestly, that thing was over.
Early.
Like over early. That was a Mike Tyson type knockout.
Yeah, I mean, it was 7-1, and then it was 9-1, then I think it was like 9-2, and then you kind of held at 9-2 for a little bit, and then it was 13-2.
That's what you were hoping when it was being held 9-2, that North Carolina would have an inning.
When it was 9-2, North Carolina had 2 on and 1 out, I think.
You were hoping that spot.
And I'm like, man, you get a double in the gap here or better.
If you could make it 9-5.
Yeah, that's like at least it's some
9-5 to where
and then
you didn't get nothing.
They didn't. So North Carolina is still awaiting its first ever national title. They played for a few, but they have not been able to get it done. Oklahoma wins its third and its first in 32 years. It is also the 7th straight SEC baseball national championship.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
They take it kind of, like we said, they take it kind of serious.
Yes, they do. So at least the SEC gets one of the big ones. The Big Ten got football, men's and women's basketball. I don't know what conference Denver is in, but we were talking about this yesterday, Kale and I. But University,
they're in the AFC West.
But Denver won the men's hockey championship. We did not look up the women's hockey title. Should have.
Yeah.
And now the SEC has won the softball and baseball championships. So that's a thing.
See, you got something out of the year.
Right, for the big sports. Anyway, lots to get to on the program. 803-404-6100 to be part of it. We'll come back on the other side. Got a poll question running. Terry does not know the poll question yet. I just gave him the theme, because I did this yesterday. I'm going to ask him what he thinks, and we'll get more of y'all's responses on this, too. Has to do with college football, so that's always fun.
It's always good.
You're listening to the Postgame Show. All right, welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you here on this Tuesday afternoon. Again, a lot of breaking news going on in the sports world today. Brendan Sorsby will not be in an NFL supplemental draft because the NFL has chosen to not hold a supplemental draft. The NCAA today has voted unanimously to change its eligibility rules based on age and sort of a college clock. We'll get into details on that as soon as they're provided. That's not officially official, but apparently it's only, again, I'll use the term, it's not officially official because they don't fully ratify their decisions until the entire meeting is done, and that'll be tomorrow.
There you go.
So it's not like they're going to come back tomorrow and go, hey, yeah, that thing we did today or yesterday, yeah, we're not doing that.
Change your mind.
Yeah, they move on to other things on the agenda, and then it all sort of gets ratified officially tomorrow. And also news that broke today, and I'm definitely going to come back around to this as well, the PGA Tour today has announced that starting in 2028, it will have a two-tiered system and will offer promotion and relegation. So
that could be fun.
This will be the first North American sport
to have it,
at least a big one. And I know golf is not a North American sport, but the PGA Tour
is North American.
Yeah, because the PGA Tour does hold events in Canada, and they've held some in Mexico as well.
Sure.
And I think they're actually going to sanction a big event in Australia, starting with this new agreement.
And then the winner gets just Foster's for life.
Do you like Foster's? I've never been a huge fan, man.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. If I go into a bar, it's not my choice. I don't look around going, hey, they got Foster's. But if I had to drink one, it's not going to kill me.
I remember maybe,
it's okay.
When we were coming of age.
Oh, sure.
And Foster's had a big campaign in America. It comes in like the oil can.
Yeah.
Like the big 24-ounce can.
Foster's, Australian for beer.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And it's good.
It's fine.
It's
not great. See, I told you this. When I was young, growing up in blue-collar Baltimore, a bottle of beer that was green was fancy to me.
Yes, I got you. You did tell.
It was fancy beer.
Heineken,
Moosehead, Heineken,
St. Pauli Girls,
Lowenbrow, St. Pauli Girl, Foster's. Remember, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Lowenbrow. Wow,
remember that?
man.
Yeah, Lowenbrow, baby.
There's a name I hadn't heard in a while.
That just hit me. I hadn't had a Lowenbrow in many years.
I'm not sure I ever had a Lowenbrow.
Yeah, I had a couple of them. You never had one?
I don't know.
Can I be honest with you? We're missing a lot.
I don't know that I ever had a Lowenbrow.
It was okay. It was like fun.
I had Michelob.
Yeah,
I know that now because they don't even make Michelob or Michelob Light. They just make Ultra, but it's not. I mean, like Michelob was like Anheuser-Busch's like fancy beer.
Yeah, that was the upper crust beer was Michelob, man.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had a Lowenbrow.
You ever had a Lowenbrow?
Moosehead was okay.
Moosehead was solid. Out of all the green beers, I think I like Moosehead the best.
Yeah, I don't like Heineken.
Yeah, what do you think?
Heineken's just weird and skunky.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy.
Rolling Rock's in a green bottle too. Also,
I forgot
skunky.
about Rolling Rock in a green bottle.
I don't. I'm not a fan.
Now people will tell me about, again, take away Pennsylvania people because it's brewed in Pennsylvania.
It is.
People will tell me it's better now than it used to be. When I was a kid, Rolling Rock was skunky beer you bought if you couldn't get the beer you wanted.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And it was cheaper. And when you're
Yuengling is made in Pennsylvania. Yuengling's pretty good.
Yuengling's all right.
For a big beer.
That was a little skunky when I was young. We got better. Yuengling got better.
Yeah. And we had a buddy from Pittsburgh.
Icy Light.
Yeah. And would come back with Iron City.
I was never a big fan of Iron City, man. And Icy Light.
So anyway. All right. Poll question. And then we'll get into we do have a commitment from yesterday, but we'll give you the other visitor in just a second here. All right, so here's the poll question, Terry Ford. Now, this goes back to the bill in Congress, the Protect College Sports Act. And it will be voted upon soon on the full floor of the Senate. It'll be debated, and they may make some changes and tweaks. But it does preclude, the language at least currently in the bill, precludes the formation of a super league. If you make so much money, generate so much revenue, you can't form a super league.
Right.
And right now, that language basically says that the Power Four conferences all make too much money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. So if, Terry Ford, here's the poll question.
Go for it.
for you and others.
All right.
If the PCSA gains traction, should the Southeastern Conference and Big Ten ramp up talk of a Super League before the bill is potentially passed? A, yes, it's inevitable. B, no, let things play out. C, maybe, who else joins?
Okay, so am I the Big Ten and the SEC in this question?
No, you're
I'm me.
You're Joe Fan.
I'm Joe Fan. Joe Fan. See, for me personally,
But you might be Joe Fan of an SEC or Big Ten school, or you might be Joe Fan of Marshall or Akron.
I really don't want to see super leagues. I want to see. Now, if you're going to take and make me it depends on the super league. If it's just the SEC and the Big Ten going off together and they're going to play out their Super League schedule and the winner of each one plays each other for the Super League championship of mankind or something.
No.
No, but I'll say this. If I'm the SEC and the Big Ten, and if I see this bill is getting an iota of traction, I'm making a phone call. You follow where I'm going here?
Yes, I do, 100%. And I think, and I kind of said that yesterday because I haven't yet come out with an answer on this. Because I told Cale yesterday when Cale Wilson was in here working while you were gone that I wanted to wait and get a response from you, and that I didn't want to taint the jury pool. And this poll's going to run till the end of the show. So hit me up at jphillips1075 if you want to vote, and I'll give you some results in a second too. That while the two conferences, the Big Ten and SEC, have publicly said the right things so far about, hey, we don't want a Super League. And Greg Sankey even said, we've got a Super League. And then Petiti didn't say that. But, I mean, combined, you got 34 schools.
And you got all the schools the TV networks want.
Yeah, we talked last week, again, SEC, an SEC team featured in 93 of the top 100 games. A Big Ten team featured in 59 of the top 100 games on television last year. Then you had to go all the way down to the ACC with 23, and the Big 12 only had 14. And as I said, you have to, if you doubled the number of times that an ACC school played in one of the top 100 games, you still wouldn't hit second place. In fact, you'd still be pretty far off, 13 games. But yes, Terry, behind the scenes.
Gotta be, right?
Because, again, what you're looking at if you're the SEC and Big Ten is they're telling us they're going to take our money from us. They're going to give it to other people, and we can't do anything if we want to continue to grow our brand and business.
Right. We're not allowed to. If we decide to go merge.
And you're also telling individual institutions, and this is the analogy you and I made last week, no, you can't sell your house and move.
No.
Sorry.
Got to stay where you're at.
So, again, if you're looking at, Clemson fans, if you all want to be in the SEC, this bill basically looks at you and says, nope, you can't move. North Carolina, you can't move.
You're even status quo.
Even Cody Campbell.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Cody, if the SEC comes calling, because believe me, y'all, Cody Campbell would trip over himself and his oil derricks if the SEC was knocking on Texas Tech's door.
I think Cody Campbell would give away organs to get Texas Tech in the SEC.
Greg, how many oil fields you want, boy?
I got you 5 oil fields and a liver.
Right.
What do you say? How about it, Greg?
So, again, to a lot of people, you look at that and you go, that's kind of un-American. You're just telling me, again, you can tell me I can't go 90 miles an hour on the highway, and you can tell me I can't physically harm someone, but you're telling me I can't sell my house and move?
Wait, isn't this
how's that work?
Free enterprise system?
Yeah, I mean, you're telling me that I've grown a business, and all of a sudden you're just telling me I can't grow that business anymore. And they're going to say it's on antitrust grounds. Well, not necessarily. I mean, we haven't seen that yet. Anyway, all right. I'll come back on the other side with current results.
Yeah,
Again, yes, it's inevitable.
So
let things play out.
I want to throw a thought on the statute.
Well, and I've done something, because, again, I offer solutions. I have come up with a 50-school Super League.
Look at you.
Okay?
Very nice.
50-school Super League.
All right, let's hear this thing.
All right, that's coming up on the Postgame Show. Cato's Power Equipment ready to help you out when it comes to everything you need to make your yard look fantastic all year long. Now the grass is growing, the shrubs are growing. It's that time of year, right? We get those rainstorms and then a few days of nice sunshine and heat, and bang, everything around here just decides it wants to take off. Well, keep it in check with the latest, whether it's a brand new lawnmower, whether it's a hedge trimmer. Maybe you've had, like I saw some neighbors in my part of the city the other day had a tree fall, and they were out there with their chainsaw because, you need that too from time to time. Even just something around the sidewalk, a little edger, trimmer. They got all that for you too. If you do it for a living, big-time equipment. And if you do it for a living, service department to keep all that equipment up and running so that you are getting to more jobs and you are making more money. Whether you do it for yourself, whether you do it for a living, see Cato's for great sales, service, and advice. Historically located at 4012 West Beltline Boulevard. Cato's. Welcome back in. I feel like this song should be part of like an Austin Powers movie or something. By the way, if you've been watching the World Cup of late, at least, and I'm sure they've been now on other sports or other just television programs, but by now most of you have probably seen the new Mike Myers Dr. Evil commercial. I forget which, is it for Verizon, I think. But it gives me hope that he's working on a new Austin Powers. And that's the reason to bring back Dr. E.
I would love to see another Austin Powers. None of the Austin Powers sucked. They were all good in their own way.
Yeah,
all were good in their own way.
Yeah, I mean, look. I love the first one so much. We have the movie poster on the wall in our like family, like our game room.
Which one had the tent scene? Was that the second or third one?
The tent.
There's a silhouette and a tent. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, second.
I can't go any farther than that.
Second one.
Yeah, the shadows in the tent scene.
Yeah.
That was the second one?
Pretty sure that's the second one.
Yeah, that's as far as we can go with that, unless we want to lose the license.
Let me double check. Yeah. Sometimes certain things run together. It's not the first one.
No, it wasn't the first one.
Not the first.
It was the second or third one.
I think
can't
it's the
remember.
second one. I think it's the second.
All I know is they were all good. The first one's my favorite. The first one, I cry laughing at the first one.
I love it.
Especially when they first unfreeze them.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Evacuation. Evacuation. Yeah.
So good. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you. I hope there's another one somewhere.
That commercial I'm hoping is.
I hope.
Yeah.
Because, again, I love those movies.
Yeah, the second one.
All right, it's the second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one.
All right, this is far. If you want to search that on your own, feel free. We can't go any farther than.
I had to make sure it was, because I was thinking it wasn't in Goldmember. It was the second one.
It was the second one. Yeah. I knew it was the second or third, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So poll question. Poll question. Again, if the PCSA, the Protect College Sports Act, gains traction in D.C., should the SEC and Big Ten, and again, this would be before passage, should they ramp up talk of a Super League before the bill is potentially passed? Because it's going to take some time in the House to get some language changed. A, yes, it's inevitable. B, no, let things play out. C, maybe who else joins? Right now, it's tight. 45.3% of you say let things play out. So, no, you should not talk about a Super League. Just let the bill run its course. 41.5% of you say yes.
Interesting.
It's inevitable. And a solid 13.2%. So, say maybe who else joins. Now, on that note, I did a little exercise today. This was quick and easy, and I doubt this holds. And I've got two thoughts.
And you went to 50 on this.
I went to 50 because I thought that was a nice round number, but then I also realized that, you know what, you leave a few out, and a couple of really key names are left off of my list that I think need to probably be included long term.
Okay.
The biggest one being Duke, who's not on my 50. Because you can't just I'd like to think this would only be about football.
Right.
But I don't know that you can do that.
But then that brings up an interesting question before you get to your 50 of the Dukes, the Kansases.
I took care of Kansas.
You take care of Kansas?
Yeah, so here's what I've done. Here's what I've done. Without going, and I'm not going to read 50 schools. So take the current 18 of the Big Ten. Take the current 16 of the SEC.
34, right?
Y'all are fine. All right? So I have added
16 more.
I've added 8 to the SEC, and I've added 6 to the Big Ten. That's 48. And I put in Notre Dame and BYU.
Makes sense.
All right. So to the Big Ten, and by the way, and I did this on purpose.
Okay.
Every one of these schools is a member of the American Association of Universities.
Got to be research schools.
Because the Big Ten ain't taking you otherwise.
Nope, they will not. And Nebraska was when they joined.
Yes. Nebraska, I guess, doesn't do enough research anymore.
They decided to stop researching.
They lost their opportunity. But anyway, so every one of these schools that you're going to hear for Big Ten is a current member of the AAU.
Yep.
Not the prep basketball.
No,
AAU.
not that.
All right. So in no particular order, Kansas, Pittsburgh, California, that's Berkeley, Stanford, Arizona State.
There you go. Nice work.
All right. All of those schools.
All AAU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Southeastern Conference, I have added North Carolina.
Makes sense.
North Carolina State, Virginia, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Miami, Clemson.
Makes sense.
I don't know where other growth would be. I look at schools like Louisville, but I look at Louisville relative to Clemson, and I would think that TV would say, yeah, we'd rather have Clemson than Louisville.
I disagree.
Again, my concern is, again, if this is only about football, and I don't know how you do that without making sure that others are made more complete, more whole. Syracuse, Boston College. You look at Baylor.
I wonder.
Texas Christian. Oklahoma State.
We kind of look at the Big East in basketball.
Yeah.
Because they don't have a football league, obviously.
Yeah.
Maybe going down your route that you've taken, maybe you look at it like for football, this is the way it's set up. In basketball, maybe there's a league of the Dukes and the Louisvilles and these other schools that are good basketball schools that might not, check the box in football, and maybe they have a basketball league, sort of like what you have with the Big East.
Right.
Just spitballing.
So there's ways.
And then when you have basketball, that conference matters, like the Big East does.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So there's 50. Now, again, if you take who's left in the ACC and the Big 12, you're getting up to what, 70-ish if you keep Notre Dame and BYU is in the Big 12. But again, I would keep BYU because BYU at that point I think would spin off, become an independent.
Yeah.
But you could find a way to have them in this thing because that's a big national
gigantic brand.
And again, so is Notre Dame. So there's your Super League. And you would still keep the Big Ten and the SEC as conferences.
Yep.
Now, if you got to plug Notre Dame and BYU into one of them, they might have to do it kicking and screaming. I don't know. And I'll let people figure out the rest of it. But I think we're headed this way anyway.
I feel like we are. And if this bill, which I don't expect to pass, you don't expect to pass, it's not going to get out of the House.
I just don't think. I don't think it gets out of the House.
It just is too many. There's too much going on in the House for that thing to get through. But if it starts to get more traction than anybody thought, you're smart if you're the Big Ten or the SEC to start these conversations to maybe get something done ahead of, God forbid, the bill would get through. And I think that's where, look, we're eventually, and we've been talking about this for years now, but it's been creeping toward this, Jay. You look around. We've got the SEC and the Big Ten are a lot bigger than they were 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yep.
And really, if you're honest, right now, when TV deals come up again, everything changes like always. But there's only so many teams you want now if you're the Big Ten or the SEC, and you have 50 on your cap. Look, no offense to the Wake Forest of the world. A Super League would not want them. No offense to Kansas State. Right. Super League's not going to want them. It's just the way this thing plays itself out, and it's not fair. But look what happened to Washington State and Oregon State. That's not fair either. I just think that's where this is going.
Again, market-driven.
It's market-driven. It's viewer-driven, TV money-driven. All these things are pushing the boat now. It's a business. It's a massive business. And some folks are going to fall on the wayside in this thing before it's all said and done, I think, because there's too much money involved, Jay.
And if nothing else, and that's one reason that I worded my question the way I did in terms of ramp up the talk. Like, hey, we're the ones, again, we're driving this boat. Y'all can't just come in here and just take from us. You can't just take. And without some give. And
let's get back to some of the other side. I know we got to hit the vault, but let's get back to the other side. 'Cause I think that's the crux of this. Is wait a minute, we've been dragging you along long enough,
right?
And
now you want to,
now you're going to permanently make us
right
do things.
Yeah, and again, telling certain schools, nope, you can't sell your house and move. Yeah, I'm not sure that's how it works.
I don't think so.
Lots more to do on the postgame show. All right, welcome back in. Final few minutes of our first hour. Coming up next hour, we'll get you more details on the NFL's letter to Brendan Sorsby on why the NFL will not hold a supplemental draft. Brendan was apparently the only applicant. His attorney, Jeffrey Kessler, says that it's a violation of the CBA. I looked that up during a commercial break. I'll read a little bit of detail on that. It doesn't sound like it is.
It's not, because, again, they don't have them every year. They don't have to have them. And the NFL would not do what they did today if there was a loophole in the CBA about having a supplemental draft.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, look, I appreciate that an attorney fights for his or her client.
Mm-hmm.
I got zero problem with that. But in this case, this fight for this kid, again, attempting to avoid the harshest of punishment, and also acting as if it is a right.
Yeah.
To be able to play collegiate or professional sport is puzzling.
Yeah, and you're right. Look, we all respect your legal representation, going to bat for you, but also remember this. Let's be fair here. Kessler also knows if he can get this kid to play, he makes a name for himself, and he pushes his profile even higher, saying, I'm the guy that beat the NCAA and the NFL.
Yeah, look, can his profile get higher?
I think it still
suppose.
Can. I still think it can. In his mind, we're not talking about your mind or my mind. We're talking about his mind.
Yeah, because he's.
Oh yeah,
I'll give the man. He's a Hall of Fame lawyer.
Yeah,
and I'm going to go ahead and say that. You're in the hall, bro.
He has to understand something. That the NFL is not the NCAA.
No.
They got first of all, they have a CBA.
Yeah.
2, they have some really, really, really good lawyers that are on really high retainer all the time to handle these situations.
Well, he should have seen it, because what the Big 12 did, they went and hired the biggest of big timers,
which is smart.
And within 24 hours, that sound you heard in Lubbock was a big giant gulp.
Because again, what's what we always say about if you're going to commit crimes, be rich, you can hire the best attorneys to get you out of it, right?
Yeah.
So when you hire the real good attorneys who can get you out of it, now you got 2 different real good attorneys to get you out of it fighting each other. All of a sudden, if your case has loopholes, you need to move on.
So, all right. Did you want to make a point about the Super League?
I want to say this really quick.
Okay.
And I wonder if this is going on.
Okay.
Because you know politics and government a lot more than I do. Would Congress push back? Because like when there are big mergers, like big companies merge, those mergers get taken apart to see if they're going to be allowed, right? If they're legal.
Absolutely.
And is this going down, if they're going to go down this road, is that going to be their pushback or their comeback when you and I, like you're saying, wait a minute, you're stopping us from free enterprise? And they're going to go, no, we stop mergers all the time here in our government if we think they are not good for the business.
Yeah, and for the public trust. And again, that's where antitrust comes in. And it's ironic because a lot of this bill provides some antitrust cover. And yet, on the other hand, it stifles future growth.
So basically, the government wants to do to college athletics what college athletics wants to do to players.
Yes.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
Ironic, isn't it?
There is great irony in this bill, which is why I believe this bill is not going to pass.
No, I don't think it will either.
No.
I just find it quite interesting. Yeah. I've got a couple of these for you.
Okay.
A little bit of vault trivia. I'm gonna go really old school on you. If you get this, we're just gonna retire.
Okay.
This former football great on this day in 1939 won the National Wrestling Association World Heavyweight title at the Coliseum in Houston. Former NFL great won the wrestling championship. He won $10,000. I'm sorry. He was presented with a $10,000 diamond-studded belt.
All right, let's go with Jim Thorpe.
Bronco Nagurski. You were going down the right road, though. This man, on this day in 1961, ended his 717 consecutive games played streak in Major League Baseball. Great player.
I know this. Hold on. I know this. Hold on. Ernie Banks.
Yep. Nice work by you. This president signed the Higher Education Act of 1972 that led to Title IX.
Nixon.
Look at you go.
Well, that's easy enough.
I know, 1972.
I know when they served.
1969, this heavyweight knocked out Jerry Quarry for the heavyweight championship. 1969 heavyweight.
Was that Ali?
No, the guy that fought Ali a lot.
Sonny Liston?
No, the other guy had 3 great fights. Thrill in Manila.
Foreman?
No.
Frazier?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Buford, South Carolina's own Joe Frazier.
This guy, the Hockey Hall of Fame, in 1999 waived the usual 3-year waiting period and announced this guy was part of the 1999 Hockey Hall of Fame class.
Oh. 99. I don't know.
Wayne Gretzky.
Oh. Why they waive it? Just make him wait.
Yeah, he was whatever.
He ain't going anywhere. Hour 2 coming up. Integrated Media is ready to make all of your home theater dreams a fantastic reality, but they do more than just home theater. All right? You know what it's like to watch your favorite games, teams, movies, television shows. But what about adding that extra level of security to your home with security system, with lighting and video cameras inside and outside? They can do that for you too. Yeah. They can also integrate, see what I did there, your thermostat, all on one app. So you could have your home theater, your home security, and your home comfort all in one place. If this is something that interests you, and it should, it's time for you to call Integrated Media. They do outdoor systems as well and so much to enhance your quality of life every single day. We love what they have done at our house. I'm asked that all the time. Do you really love it? I love what Integrated Media has done. You will too. 803-948-8327. The best in home technology, my friends at Integrated Media. 4 o'clock on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. Second hour of the Postgame Show coming at you from downtown Columbia's Herndon Chevy Studios alongside Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. Thanks for being with us. Lots of breaking sports news today. Brendan Sorsby not going into a supplemental draft because the NFL isn't going to hold one. NCAA has voted on new eligibility rules. I'll give you some details on that in a second. And a little bit later on this hour, we'll tell you what the PGA Tour has done. It is, at least in this country, a novel concept. It works quite well.
You like this a lot.
In other parts of the world.
You like this a lot.
Well, I do, where it can be implemented. I don't know. Like, for instance, I don't think promotion and relegation could work in collegiate sport because you're in a conference.
Right.
It's just, it's different. But anyway, we'll get into that. We just kind of gave away some of the story.
Yeah, a little bit.
But we already talked about it once.
Yeah.
The NCAA, Division I cabinet today did approve a new 5-year age-based eligibility model. I hope this doesn't get challenged in court. Let me read this. This is from the AP. Under the new rule, athletes in all sports will be given 5 years of eligibility over 5 seasons once their college eligibility clock begins. So 5 to play 5. What do we call the 5th-year guy or girl? Graduate? 5th year?
I guess grad.
I mean,
you're right. 5th year, grad, super senior.
Super senior? Yeah, maybe that's a good one. The clock will start upon initial full-time enrollment in college, or, and here's why I think they could have a challenge, at the beginning of the academic year following their 19th birthday, whichever occurs first. Athletes who just completed their 4th season of eligibility without a red shirt would not be granted an additional year. Second spot in this where you could see a lawsuit.
Uh-huh.
Schools will have flexibility in determining whether to use previous eligibility rules or the new age-based model for athletes with eligibility remaining after this academic year. Prospects who graduated in the spring of 26 will use the age-based model. They make no mention here. Now, they have in the past, so again, we might have more details later from the NCAA itself on certain exemptions. And some of them that they listed were, again, religious missions. We know that, again, the Mormon Church, Latter-day Saints, BYU students, Utah students, and others that are in there, not just be those, but, mostly out that way, go on missions for a couple of years. You might have military service. Pregnancy was one of them. There were a few others, medical things, like medical hardship could be one where the clock is paused. But, I can just see, and I'm not blaming any potential lawsuit or student athlete that sues, but I can just see a lawsuit of like, well, hey, wait a minute. It used to be 5 to play 4. I didn't redshirt. I got a year left. Why can't you grandfather me in? Why am I being excluded? And then the NCAA is going to say, because we made a rule. And a judge might say,
well, if you are doing this to me, you could harm my what, Jay?
My earning power?
Because you know what you get when you have extra years?
Yeah.
Extra
and look,
money.
even if it's a cross-country runner who's not going to make any NIL.
But still, you're taking away his eligibility.
Yeah.
Here's the other part, too. You have 5 years. You used to be able to apply for waivers for injuries.
Right.
Let's say a guy's got an injury-plagued career.
Right.
And through no fault of his own, he's been hurt playing the game. And now he says, well, I've been hurt. You used to be able to, ask for a waiver. I didn't get hurt on purpose.
The first thing that'll happen here, it says, to your point, Terry, the move is meant to eliminate the need for red shirts and waivers, which have drawn scrutiny in recent years as athletes have sued the NCAA challenging eligibility rules. Well, look, I'm pulling for you. I love that phrase. I am NCAA. I'm pulling for you.
Yeah,
I'm pulling for you.
I think something like this, I like the theory of this rule.
Yeah.
To make this streamlined, because it became a joke, right?
Yeah.
You got some 32-year-old dude in his 10th year of eligibility. He's played for 8 different programs.
Well, who's the Utah Cam Rising?
Mm-hmm. God love Cam Rising, 7 years.
And from what and look, I'm not trying to be sanctimonious here, okay? But from what I understood, Cam Rising in those 7 years still didn't complete an undergraduate degree. Yeah, I'm like, dang, man, 7 years, bro.
Bad.
So anyway, I get it. I know what it's meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it will do it.
And that's the problem, because once again, there are going to be lawyers looking to poke holes all in this, and really smart legal people are smarter than the NCAA, and they're going to find holes to poke in this, and they're going to throw antitrust at it. You are limiting the ability of these young men to pursue a road that could benefit them financially. You cannot do that without their okay.
So,
you just can't. But if you collectively bargain this, Jay.
Yes, then they would know in advance. But so we'll see. You know, I mean, again, I'm pulling for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pulling for you.
Yeah, I got no. I like the idea in theory of being able to corral this, because again, it's been the Wild Wild West.
Right.
So I just think that because again, you're doing this without someone's okay, they're not signing off on it. We know where that leads.
So the next big piece of news today is the NFL telling Brendan Sorsby that there will be no supplemental draft. For those who haven't been paying as much attention to this over the last month, Brendan Sorsby, again, is who he never actually played for Texas Tech, but we'll officially call him a Texas Tech quarterback. He transferred there from Cincinnati in the offseason. He admitted to gambling on his own team and on placing thousands of other bets. He bet while he was at Indiana. He was at Indiana, then Cincinnati, then Texas Tech. While at Indiana, he bet on Indiana football as a player 40 separate times. Now, he claims that none of these bets were made while he was a player or while he was an active player. He was redshirting. But he did also bet on Indiana basketball. And when he went to Cincinnati, he bet on Cincinnati basketball. And you may say, well, he didn't play basketball. But again, the rules say you can't bet on your own team and you can't bet on your own school. They really say you can't bet on anything. Not only that, and even though this is not necessarily an NCAA violation, for most of this time, he was underage. Mm-hmm. And there are still potential legal challenges that could come Brendan Sorsby's way on this, too. He was deemed ineligible in the spring by the NCAA once they were tipped off. They were tipped off by a federal investigation through a sports book monitoring service. Some people are saying Cincinnati ratted him out. Some people are saying that that Texas Tech finally notified the NCAA so that Texas Tech looks good. No. The NCAA found out through a federal investigation from a sports and a sports book monitoring service. He was deemed ineligible. Texas Tech knew this and had to also deem him ineligible from their own standpoint so that they, Texas Tech, could apply for his reinstatement. That was denied. He sued. He got an injunction. And a week later, the Big 12 sued in federal court after they were threatened, the Big 12, by the Texas Attorney General. I know this is a sordid soap opera thing.
Yes.
And the Texas AG basically said, if you try to punish Texas Tech, I'm coming after you on antitrust grounds.
Right.
And they were like, whoa, wait. Everybody in our league agreed to our bylaws, including Texas Tech. And the Big 12 also had the support publicly of the AGs of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Utah. And apparently the Colorado AG was ready to sign on, but didn't need to. And maybe others in the footprint would have followed. All right, so there's the setup. Then he applied for the supplemental draft and withdrew his lawsuit. So he is deemed ineligible again. Right. All right? The NFL today told him we're not having a supplemental draft. And I'm going to read some of what the NFL letter said. It's a rather long letter, so I'm not going to read all of it.
But it's good.
But it is good. And this is a scolding. The league does not have the complete record of the NCAA's investigation, and you did not provide any such materials with your petition. Available information nonetheless indicates that over the course of your collegiate career, you knowingly engaged in repeated and significant violations of NCAA rules designed to preserve the integrity of athletic competition. Reported conduct includes placing wagers on your own team and teammates and, to avoid detection, establishing or funding accounts in the names of intermediaries who placed bets on your behalf. There are also reports that you may have violated state criminal law. Your petition does not address these matters, nor does it demonstrate accountability for your conduct or indicate whether or how you would adhere to the league's rules and policies governing the integrity of competition. Instead, even after receiving notice of the NCAA's decision rescinding your college eligibility in May, you sought to avoid the consequences of that determination through litigation rather than accepting responsibility for your actions, and you pursued entry into the NFL only after abandoning those efforts.
Bang.
End quote. It's strong language from the NFL.
Absolutely.
Strong language.
Good and good for them.
I agree. I agree. And I know some people say he never bet on his team to lose, and it doesn't. And the other one that I'm kind of growing weary of is, but look at how much money the NFL makes on gambling. But everybody knows if you can't gamble,
right?
And so two things can be true. But I don't understand the sports fan in this country who says, but look how much money they make on gambling. Do you want the athletes that you watch betting on their own games? And look, because you might say, well, what if they only bet on themselves to win? Well, what if they don't?
Right.
Okay, and I don't want to throw a team name out there, so I'm just, picture historically bad NFL teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If there were no consequences, or they were very limited consequences, what would prevent me from knowing, man, we're playing a good team today.
We suck.
We're going to get our ass kicked.
I think I'm going to go take, and we can't score points.
Yeah.
I'm
taking the unders.
I'm taking the under and taking them.
And I'm taking their point spread.
And how much is that going to affect your performance on the field?
Yeah,
and that affects the integrity of the game, and also it affects wagering.
Right.
Because who's wagering on stuff if you don't believe in the integrity of the game?
Right.
To wager on.
And so so you can't. I get where you want to be coming from on that, but it doesn't hold water.
No.
And it's not an apples to apples comparison. So, and again, even if you bet on your own team to win, that doesn't matter. You have inside information.
Yes.
And that goes to Terry's second point there. The sports books are going to be like, well, wait. And even when Sorsby was at Indiana and he was only a red shirt, you're with the team every day.
Yeah.
And there is apparently, at least some evidence that he, at least one occasion, did bet an under.
Think about that for a minute.
So while that might not be a win or a loss,
but still,
it's almost like hit that number.
I mean, it's insider trading, basically.
Yeah, you can't, and you can't do it. So good for the NFL. And I did read this too, because there was a question about whether or not the NFL can. The NFL has sole discretion based on the CBA to decide whether or not to hold a supplemental draft. Now,
exactly.
Mike Florio has put this out today. And he's an attorney in addition to covering the NFL for NBC Sports and Pro Football Talk. He writes, does Florio, Sorsby isn't a member of the NFLPA. However, the supplemental draft was created by collective bargaining, and the NFLPA has standing to challenge the NFL's decision to not conduct a supplemental draft if it chooses to do so. Sorsby has separate rights that could be pursued in court, says Florio. Kessler has not yet, that's his attorney, Jeffrey Kessler, has not yet said that he would file a lawsuit, but it's obviously one of the potential avenues for pursuing relief from this decision.
And that's why Kessler went to the NFLPA and said, hey, or he's threatening to go to the NFLPA. Now, we talked about first hour. We got to get out of here. If I'm the NFLPA, well, I know.
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
I don't want any of that smoke.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not worth it to me.
Hey, man, you got a third or fourth round guy here. Tell him to go to Canada, and we'll see him in April.
We're not going to step up and fight the league on this.
We'll see where it goes. All right, we'll come back on the other side. The PGA Tour has made a massive change to its format. Could it work in other pro sports? We'll let you decide when we return. Love telling you about our friends at Griffin Pools and Spas, and they would love to make your backyard dreams a reality. Griffin has been doing this as a family-owned company since 1976 when founder Stanley Griffin built a pool in his own backyard. He was like, you know what? This is a good pool. I can do this. Now they are a national leader in the pool industry. They've been doing it since 1976. Expertise is evident. You go, ask around with your friends and neighbors that have a pool. Who got it done for them? And when you visit the retail store, you can see their design pool out there next to the shop. We've actually done shows that we've actually had people jump in that pool and win like football tickets. True story. True story. Custom pool design, aggressive schedule commitment, top quality construction, low maintenance equipment installation, and they're with you every single step of the way. If you're ready for a pool in your backyard, Griffin is ready to make it happen. 803-957-2121. Better yet, visit them online at griffinpoolsandspas.com. Twenty minutes after 4 o'clock here on this Tuesday afternoon. Welcome back in. All right. Again, a lot to get to on today's program. Let me go ahead and throw the poll question out one more time. We'll come back around to some results in just a little bit. If the Protect College Sports Act in D.C., that's the bill in the Senate, gains traction, should the Southeastern Conference and Big Ten ramp up talk of a super league before the bill is potentially passed? And you could ramp up this talk for a variety of reasons, including just letting everybody know, we can still do this. A, yes, it's inevitable. B, no, let things play out. Or C, maybe who else joins? I won't give current results, but we have had a change in the percentages since last time. So I will, again, thank you for voting. At J Phillips, 1L, at J Phillips, 1075, if you'd like to vote. This will be running until right around the end of today's program. In the meantime, big news today from the PGA Tour. Starting in 2028, it was revealed today, the Tour will begin a 2-track competition. The top tier will be called the PGA Tour Championship Series. The second tier will be called the PGA Tour Challenger Series. They will basically run concurrently. A regular season of golf is going to be early February to late August. They're going to basically try to avoid football season.
Smart move.
Savvy. The Challenger Series will now become what the Tour says is the primary pathway to the Championship Series, with golfers competing to advance to the top track, including in-season elevation if they win twice. The PGA Tour says they hope to, quote, bring competitive clarity and heightened consequence and deliver a stronger, more compelling experience for fans, players, and partners. Basically, y'all, this is promotion and relegation. So next season, 2027, will be a year to basically set things up. So they won't be doing the 2-track system, but they'll then decide, and it's 100. Basically, it's going to be the top 120 players are going to be on the top tier. Now, according to this, it'll be, and this gets a little confusing, so bear with me. At least the top 90 players in the points list from the Championship Series will retain their membership the following season. Another 20 will be promoted from the Challenger Series each year. Additional categories such as tournament winners, medical extensions, and career milestones are yet to be finalized, and there will be no sponsor exemptions. So when you're at the, at the Big Bank Championship, and I won't, again, I'm not going to name names, and the chairman's nephew wants to play.
No exemption.
He's not going to get to play. He's not going to get to play.
Sorry, Sparky.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question to you really quick.
Okay.
So you're going to move 20 up.
Uh-huh.
Are you putting 20 down?
Yeah. That's like not quite. It sounds more like you might put 30 down.
Okay.
They think they got a few tweaks.
Okay.
But that sounds like a nice number.
I think 20. That's interesting.
I tell
you what, it's going to make you focus every week.
It will. So if you're wondering, all right, what does this look like? From what they've said so far, they have identified 10 of 15 championship regular season tournaments. And it sounds like for now, they will continue with what you know as signature events. And then they'll be adding to those. And they'll have $20 million purses. And they will have cuts, which right now they don't in the signature events. And they hope to bring back that kind of competition, so the cuts matter because everybody's not winning money. I think overall, Terry, it says here the policy board is still finalizing membership eligibility and exemptions, including access for the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour University golfers. These categories will be finalized before the start of the 2027 season.
Interesting. I'm sitting here for fun, looking at the point standings right now so far this year. I mean, you still obviously have a long way to go. World ranking and things of that nature, money leaders, whatever. And I'm seeing who might not be, who would be in danger.
Yeah, PGA Tour money leaders would be the number. I think that's where you would want to look. Don't look at World Golf Ranking because you will have at least a couple of live guys.
Let's go money leaders.
So, and you'll have a couple of guys on the DP Tour that are probably. But, I mean, you could look at either one. But
no, we'll do money leaders. I think money leaders is a good way to check this out.
I think PGA Tour money leaders right now would be the better gauge of who's doing what.
Okay, here we go. Let's get to number 90. Let's see where we're at here. This is just for fun.
Yeah, I get it.
Lucas Glover will be under 90.
Yeah.
No.
Popular local golfer?
Let's see who else is here that would be a name.
Well, give me 88 through like 93.
That's what I'm doing here. Okay, 8, yeah, you might know some of these. Well, Billy Horschel, Steve Fisk,
Okay.
AJ Ewert,
Don't know him.
Kevin Roy, Michael Brennan.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is sitting here. There's a couple of them.
Michael was playing well at an event the other day.
So that's some of the names on here. I'm trying to see if any other, like, wow, that guy names. Oh, Matt Kuchar.
Cooch.
Yeah.
Cooch is about, it's crazy. Cooch is about to head off to the senior tour.
Yeah, pretty much. So you're not seeing too many names where you go, oh my God.
Right, and that's just it. And so that's what I think makes this a little bit easier.
Max McGreevy,
yeah, Max is good.
I'll give you guys who are hovering really quick.
All right.
Let's see here. The hoverers aren't what you call, oh my God, like John Perry, Brant Snedeker.
Yeah, I mean Brant's a good golfer, man. Now he
Tony Finau sitting at 70, Koepka's at 69, Max Homa 75.
Yeah, these are very popular golfers.
So you might have a little bit of interesting stuff with some names.
Right.
Keegan Bradley's a 66.
Keegan, yeah. He's not had he had a great year last year. He's not had a great year this year.
So anyway, this could be something where golfers who you've heard of, who's had success in the past, who might not be for whatever reason bringing it,
right,
could really have themselves in trouble and it could become compelling to watch them.
Let me again read from this. The PGA says it's identified 10 of its 15 Championship Series regular season tournaments. The current 8 signature events, which are, I think by date here, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, Genesis Invitational, that's in SoCal, the Arnold Palmer, that's in Orlando, the Heritage, we know that one, the Cadillac down in Miami, Truist in Charlotte, at Memorial, that's Jack's tournament in Ohio, and the Travelers, which is this weekend up in Connecticut, are expected to remain part of the future schedule. The tour is targeting larger markets like Boston, Denver, New York, Philly, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington to fill out the remaining 5 spots on the calendar. And they will begin to finalize the markets, courses, dates, and sponsors in the coming weeks.
Who doesn't want more New York?
Well, yeah, and after the last weekend, and I know you want to say some things about that later on in the show, and we will. I don't blame them for wanting to go to bigger markets where they can. I was glad to see, because I was a little nervous at first because there were whispers that the Heritage might roll off of this, but I think it's just so immensely popular with the players.
I agree. I mean, it's a great place to go play, man.
Yeah. And really, when you look at these other places, I mean, Pebble Beach is not a huge metro area, but it's not too far from San Francisco. And, of course, it's Pebble Beach.
Right.
And then the Genesis and the Arnold Palmer, those are in big areas. The Cadillac's in a big area. Truist, Charlotte's a big area. Memorial is in Columbus. So that's a good-sized city these days. And the Travelers it's in Connecticut. I forget exactly what city, but that's greater NYC.
So you get the Northeast, man.
Yeah. So there you go. All right. So promotion and relegation coming to the PGA Tour in 2028.
That might actually be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Might it work in other sports?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
Not in America.
All right. Got some fun stats for you on just how successful the SEC has been when it comes to the College World Series. We'll do that and more as the postgame show rolls on.
Eight zero 875 MENS, the Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Look, we're getting older. You're a guy. I'm a guy. We're guys who are getting older. And things start kind of going loopy. You're not sleeping as well as you used to, or maybe you're not as strong at the gym. You don't bounce back from workouts like you did before. Can't remember things like you used to. You don't have that drive in life, if you know what I mean. Whatever it is, go talk to the folks at the Men's Clinic. Again, 803-875-MENS. You make that call. You go in, a free confidential consultation. You tell Dr. Dan and the staff your story. They'll do a testosterone test, and they'll put you on a plan. And this is the best part of it. It's specifically designed for you. And not by Dr. Frank Thomas or Dr. Doug Flutie, by Dr. Dan and the staff, specifically designed for you to get you back to being you again. 803-875-MENS, Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Make the call. Get back to being you again. All right, let's see. We a couple accidents to start off. I-20 eastbound at 277. Also, a river drive at Pearl Street, and we have stop-and-go traffic. I know you'll be shocked by this. I-26 westbound between I-126, exit 108A, and exit 106. Exactly. I will pop back in. A lot of breaking news in the world of sports we haven't even gotten to yet, so we'll get you caught up on some of those other things on the post-game show. Terry and Jay, appreciate you hanging out with us here on the Game Network, at the Game TV Radio, on YouTube.
"26 minutes in front of 5 o'clock on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. As Terry said, a lot to get to. Those of you just getting in the car, you heard that traffic report. We got a lot of breaking news today. Again, Brendan Sorsby will not be in a supplemental draft. The Texas Tech quarterback received a very stern letter from the NFL on why they will not hold a supplemental draft. And they basically said his application wasn't complete enough. That they also believe in so many ways, and it's their discretion, they think he's avoiding punishment.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. Yep. And, we kind of thought the NFL might do this. And I think, Terry, to the point you made earlier, and I echo how you feel, and I think a lot of people are. Now, some will take issue, certainly, and not just, his attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
But the NFL, this is not a first for the NFL in showing some form of condemnation, if that's the right word to use.
Right.
Again, you go back to Terrell Pryor and the tattoo situation at Ohio State. Terrell applied for the supplemental draft, was taken by the Raiders, but the NFL said, fine, and you're suspended for the first 5 games of your season. And everybody was, okay with it because the NFL can do that. Again, the commissioner has discretion. And this is collectively bargained.
Yes.
Again, if I'm Jeffrey Kessler, Sorsby's attorney, yeah, I'm going to pursue every outlet I can for my client, but I don't think it's going to be successful. If I'm Sorsby, I'm getting my head right. I'm looking to see if Canada will take me.
More spring leagues.
Something.
What the heck? Just get out there and play football. Maybe what's it called? The UFL?
The UFL. I don't know if that. I mean, look. When does their season? Their season doesn't end until like May, though. So I mean, I guess can you be in that? Can you be in that and be in the draft? Like you got to be in the draft once.
Yeah, I tell you what, he probably has to wait till next year's NFL draft before he can do anything.
I've seen some things on Twitter, just people not asking me necessarily, but just asking the general question: why can't he just become a free agent? You can, but in the NFL, and again, it's collectively bargained. The NFL requires any entrant to have gone through the draft process. So again, we know tons of dudes don't get drafted. And there's plenty of instances of undrafted free agents catching on and being good football players. Gone are the days of a 20-round NFL draft, as all of you know. But you have to go through a draft. So you have to apply for a draft. You have to enter a draft, and the draft has to happen. And if at that point you've been passed on, then you become a free agent.
I'm looking up because you brought up Canada.
Fine country.
Awesome. Let's see. Can you bypass? I just Googled, can you bypass the NFL draft and play in Canada? See what it says.
All right.
It says, again, this is AI. I'm Googling at the moment. We know sometimes this is not.
Well, I think Google knows a lot about Canadian football.
Does it?
What is a rouge? Ask Google that next, please. What is a rouge?
It says here, yes, you can bypass the NFL draft and play in Canada. They operate as an entirely separate professional entity with its own rules. Players who go undrafted or wish to skip the draft process altogether regularly sign in the CFL. So you could go play in the CFL.
Okay. And then once you've done that, I suppose you would not, like, for instance, and I don't know, Terry, you'd have to help me out here. And look, we have to go back to our youth when the original USFL was a thing. And guys like Doug Flutie and Herschel Walker and Reggie White and Mike Rozier all went straight to the USFL. Bernie Kosar, Jim Kelly, they all played in the USFL first. Steve Young.
Right.
So
a bunch. I mean, there was so many good players.
Did they enter the NFL draft? Or I mean, the rules have probably changed in 40-some years. Did they enter the NFL draft only to sign as,
Yeah, remember, it was like AFL, NFL, like the competitive AFL, NFL bidding wars in some ways for the draft.
Yeah.
Like, for example, guys were drafted, but the USFL had their own draft and offered more money. Yeah. So those players decided to sign.
Did they even have a draft?
USFL, I believe they did.
Did they?
Yeah, I believe they did. It's so long ago.
I can't remember, but I just remember like the New Jersey Generals signed Herschel to.
Let me see if there was a USFL draft.
Well, regardless, the point I make and the question I ask is that once you've played if Sorsby, and I don't know, like Warren Moon had to start in Canada, which again is.
Well, he was drafted. Well, he was drafted. No, he was undrafted, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he was drafted.
No, he was undrafted because again, at that point. In the world of football, there was one big reason.
No, we're not taking a black quarterback, and I'm like, well, that was dumb.
Ready?
All he did was break every bleeping
and then
record
he went to Canada and just tore it up.
Yeah, well, and then he came to the NFL and tore it up. Yeah, I mean, he was Warren Moon, man. Now you say Warren Moon, you're like, Warren Moon.
And you go, why did this guy get drafted?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
It's so dumb.
Like, y'all are stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's just stupid.
It's so ridiculous. You look back on those things, you go,
Warren
really?
Moon,
It's
man.
just idiotic.
When you say to certain, Warren Moon, you're like, yeah, Warren Moon.
First round pick, right?
Yeah.
All right, ready? There was a USFL draft, 1983. First pick overall, Dan Marino by the LA Express.
Okay, didn't go.
Tim Spencer, Chicago Blitz, running back from Ohio State.
Okay, where did he go? He went to the NFL.
I'm looking through this now. Craig James went to the NFL. Gary Anderson, the NFL. Eric Dickerson, the NFL. Oh, here we go. Irv Eatman did sign in the USFL. Remember Irv Eatman, UCLA offensive lineman.
Okay.
There's some guys here who did. Bart Oates signed with the Philadelphia Stars. Bobby Hebert signed with the Michigan Panthers.
Bobby Hebert, yeah.
1983. And was that it? A few. You wouldn't know these guys.
But was that Reggie White's year?
No, I don't think so.
So they did have it because, or again, did they have special rules for guys like Reggie?
Could have been.
And Herschel and Steve Young.
Was all, I mean, some of them.
Because I remember that's when Donald Trump owned the Generals, and I remember like there was a big, they made a big deal out of Donald Trump signing Herschel Walker to a giant contract.
Even better. There was also, to confuse you more,
please.
There was a territorial draft.
What does that even mean?
I guess you drafted like college players who played in your area.
All right.
You got a chance to draft them in your territorial draft. Okay. I guess just to confuse
Georgia and New Jersey are not, unless that's they just gerrymandered those territories like they do congressional districts or something.
No doubt. A lot of political fighting to set up the territories.
Georgia,
this
Jersey,
might have been after the draft. They might have had a second their territorial draft after the first draft. Yeah. Dude, this was the early '80s.
Well, the reason I'm asking is that tons of big college stars, including a couple of Heisman winners, I think 3 straight Heisman winners, right? Herschel and Rozier and Flutie went straight to the USFL. And Steve Young was a big star. Jim Kelly was a big star. Again, Reggie White was a big star. They all went straight to the USFL. But then they all, obviously, folded, and they just came right into the NFL. But they didn't get drafted again. So I don't know, like, were there draft rights? I guess that was the thing where they drafted
here's
in the NFL and somebody had their rights. Like, I don't remember exactly how it worked.
The Bills had Jim Kelly's rights because they drafted Jim Kelly.
Okay.
All right, ready? Here we go. With Herschel Walker, because the NFL at the time had a rule preventing underclassmen from entering the league. Walker opted to join the newly formed USFL.
Yep.
So that's why he joined the USFL. He signed because, again, the NFL had a rule preventing underclassmen from entering the league. So Walker, because he was an underclassman, signed with the USFL.
Well, and Vince basically said, son, you got to go ahead.
Get the heck out of here, man.
You've done everything you can do. Well, again, for Sorsby to come back around to that particular case, it'll be interesting to see what he does next. And again, I hope people don't get it twisted, and whether I speak for myself or a general feeling around the country, it's not a matter of – well, I will say some people, I think, don't want this young man to ever play again. They think he crossed the line. I'm gonna be funny at the same time here, but there's a scene in Friends – where Chandler really makes Joey mad, and he's like, you didn't just cross the line. You crossed the line so far, the line is a dot to you.
Right.
That's how some people feel about what Sorsby has done. That you didn't just place a couple of bets, bro. You placed 9,000 bets, and at least 40 of them, even if in other words, you illegally wagered for years.
Right.
But even if most of those weren't on your own team, 40 times, 40 times, you willingly bet on your own team.
Knowing what the rules were.
Yeah, knowing that you were breaking the rules.
So let's say you go into your 6 weeks, 28 days, whatever, of rehabilitation. Anyone who's ever been addicted to something says, walking out of rehab didn't cure me.
Right.
You are an addict every day the rest of your life.
It's a daily thing. So I want him to succeed one day. Yeah. And he does have talent.
Sure.
But I applaud the NFL for doing this because I think the NFL, in a certain way, too, may also be looking out for its friends in college to go, we understand what's happening here. We got your back.
Because, again, at the end of the day, you need college.
Yeah. All right. World Cup update. Maybe a little J or nay coming up.
We'll see.
Well, the good news, Alexi Lalas, is that the United States did win its group, and they still have a game to play. In fact, Terry Ford, a very rare occurrence will happen on Thursday because both teams already know their fate. The United States has won the group, and it has advanced, and Turkey, as they like to be called now,
I noticed that.
Cannot advance. So I think in English football terms, they called it a dead rubber game.
Is that what that is?
I don't know. I saw that term.
Interesting.
I saw that term go by today on a website, and I was like, a dead rubber game. Okay, I think that's some kind of sports term somewhere that we don't use very much on this side of the pond.
Yeah, we don't really use it over here.
But
I like it, though.
But that's going to happen. So there you go. Today at the World Cup, Cristiano Ronaldo arrived. Yes, Portugal had already played last week, but they didn't do well, and he didn't do well. They didn't look good. He struggled. They drew against Congo. Today, they did not have any problems. He scored twice, did CR7, and Portugal scored 5 times as they throttled poor old Uzbekistan.
See, does it count if it's Uzbekistan?
Yeah,
does it really count?
No, it counts. They're in the World Cup.
But should they be?
Yeah, they're in the World Cup. Should they be? It's another story. But I do know this. They're in the World Cup. Portugal wins 5-0. Right now, England and Ghana play in a good one. No score, but there have been a lot of back and forth. About to hit halftime in that one. Tonight, sneaky good game for soccer fans. Panama and Croatia, followed by Colombia and Congo. So really, again, these are not like move the needle. Well, Croatia's been good. They're kind of aging out now. But those are actually 2 really good games tonight. Panama, Croatia, Colombia, and Congo. Yesterday, Mr. Ford, you were gone, but yesterday was another day, just like when these teams played last week, where the stars came out. Mm-hmm. Argentina beats Austria 2-0. Lionel Messi scored them both.
Yeah, but he blew a chance to have 3.
He missed a pen. He missed a penalty. And honestly, man, you know what? He had another nice opportunity as well that he passed instead. He might have been able to score 4 or 5 yesterday.
There's an argument to be made that he screwed up and he could have scored 4
Well, he's
goals.
not that good.
I think he's overrated.
He's just not that good. And he's 38. The game has passed him by.
No doubt. He only got 5 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, and if you missed it yesterday, with those 2 goals, Lionel Messi became the all-time goal-scoring leader in World Cup history.
That's insane.
So, yeah. But here's the thing. Kylian Mbappe is right on his heels. Kylian scored twice yesterday as France beat Iraq 3-0. Erling Haaland scored twice yesterday as Norway beat Senegal. Really good game last night.
I'm going to tell you, my kid was showing me highlights of him.
Of Haaland?
Of him, just finishing.
Yeah.
Dude, that might be the most fun finisher in the world.
Yeah.
That cat's flying out of nowhere. Finishing with every body part he's got.
So here's the thing.
He's fun, man.
I'm torn on him because as an Arsenal fan, he plays for Manchester City.
Okay.
And he's been a thorn in a lot of people's sides.
Yeah.
Including Arsenal's, right?
First of all, he's a locomotive.
But he's a big man, and he can go. He can go. He can. What's interesting though is that Norway's captain is Arsenal's captain. His name is Martin Odegaard.
Okay.
And you got your son who's 19 years old. I've got an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old, and they follow Haaland on his Instagram, and
they say he's a goof.
Oh, they're like, Dad.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, and I'm like, I don't like him. And my daughter goes, you only don't like him because of who he plays for. And I was like, yes.
So what's your point?
Yes, that's exactly right. But he is a. Again, these guys are megastars. I go above the level of superstar.
I'm going to tell you, watching that guy finish is insane.
Because he's huge, too.
He's gigantic. He's athletic.
Yeah.
He's finishing with his shoulder, with his head,
whatever
with
it takes.
his knee, with
whatever
his
it takes.
foot. I mean, he's flying in the air, and he's bigger than everybody.
Yeah, he's
he's
one of those guys. Like, is he better than you? Like Homer Simpson, you're Darryl Strawberry. Are you better than me? I never met you, but yes.
Yes, I am. I mean, again, you know me. I don't really watch a lot of soccer.
No, Holland's great, but he plays for the wrong team.
Well, who's the guy that passed him all the kid calls the assists
on Norway?
Team?
Odegaard.
No.
On City, Rodri, who plays for Spain.
Yeah, He's pretty good, too.
Oh, he's yeah.
I was watching this, and I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guys on City that can get him the ball, but De Bruyne for a couple of years, but Rodri now is the guy in the middle.
And I saw some of the De Bruyne ones, too, and it's just filthy. Just filthy, Jay Phillips.
There you go.
Filthy.
There's our big soccer tournament update. Headlines of the day. A lot of breaking news coming up.
All right, one accident left, and that's that one River Drive at Pearl Street, still getting that cleaned up. Still have our typical stop and go at Malfunction Junction, obviously. And also, the usual long-term road construction in the Midlands that we deal with all the time. Weather is hot, humid. It's here. It's here. Right now we're sitting at 88 degrees. Through the night it will drop eventually into the 70s overnight, a low of about 68 before it's all said and done early in the morning. But again, no chance of precipitation.
You know, today we really do have breaking news where I can touch my earpiece like this and just get a whole bunch of breaking news. Again, how long we been running that sounder? It just never gets old, man. Never gets old. Welcome back in. Final hour of the postgame show. In addition to our afternoon headlines, he's Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips, and you are you, and wherever you are, thank you for choosing to be with us. We do have a lot of breaking news today, so let's get right into it. First off, we start with the big news from the NFL, and that is that the league has decided today not to hold a supplemental draft. And that means that Brendan Sorsby will not be headed to the NFL this coming season. The NFL has basically sent him a very strongly worded letter that said his application carried a lot of issues, game integrity issues the NFL is very concerned about. Sorsby's attorney, Jeffrey Kessler, says that the NFL's decision to not hold a supplemental draft is, quote, a violation of the CBA and the law. We will pursue this immediately with the NFLPA. I mean, they are going to run to court to get this guy everything that he wants. I don't know if it's going to help this time around. The NCAA, the NFL rather, said the petition provides no information regarding the basis for or timing of the NCAA's decision, that is to deem him ineligible. Public sources, however, indicate that in May 2026, the NCAA issued a determination declaring you permanently ineligible for participation in college athletics based on a sustained pattern of improper gambling activity during your collegiate career at 3 different universities. Instead, even after receiving notice of the NCAA's decision rescinding your collegiate eligibility in May, you sought to avoid the consequences of that determination through litigation rather than accepting responsibility for your actions, and you pursued entry into the NFL only after abandoning those efforts.
Basically, you're just coming here because you gave up on the NCAA
because
in college.
You knew you were going to lose. You were done. And again, you didn't really provide some of the things that they said they wanted. However, they did close with something kind because they scolded him, but good. They did. And you can read the whole the letters everywhere. Just punch up NFL Sorsby letter on your favorite search engine and you'll get the whole thing. And I'd say read it if you're interested. But it did conclude with this. As Commissioner Goodell has emphasized, participation in the NFL is a privilege that carries with it significant responsibilities, including accountability. By all accounts, you are a talented player with the potential for future success. We encourage you to focus on preparing for possible entry into the NFL through the 2027 NFL annual draft. Yep. So they're basically saying, look, man,
get your crap together and come see us next year.
And you're welcome to go through the regular process, but the way you've done this is something we're not going to be party to. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I just checked this real quick. The CFL season started June 4th.
Okay.
So they've been going less than a month.
I did see one. It's ironic, Terry, but I did see one thing today that was a real possibility for him. And that is that he would stay in college and be part of the program at practice with Tech, but not play.
I saw that too.
Which is what we said all along was that's what you should have done. Because I don't disagree at all with wanting to keep him for now in a structured, safe environment.
Right. Because, again, if he truly has mental health issues and addiction issues and everything like that, you want to support him and put him in a stress-free environment while he's trying to get his act together.
Yeah, you don't want to push him off to the side, and I'm totally for that. But you can't ever play college sports again because you didn't break the rule once, which is a grounds, by the way, for permanent ineligibility, just once. And we've seen that with the Deckers kid at Iowa State.
Yep.
He did it just one time, and he was done. This young man did it 40 separate times.
Yep.
I mean, you just
think about it.
Yeah.
And again, you're breaking a rule. Everybody has gambling education.
Every time you did it.
You knew
Terry, he was still making illegal bets and bet because it's illegal in Texas while he was at Texas Tech.
Yes.
So, and again, getting education from we know he went to seminars at Texas Tech. And he was still doing it.
Yep.
So, again, I'm not saying you know what you were doing. Yes, you might have a problem, but there's still consequences. And the NFL today told him as much, you can't come to us to avoid your consequences.
And it sounds like, too, their petition for a supplemental draft was pretty halfway. If you know
was
what I'm
late.
saying.
It's like a term paper. It was late and incomplete.
Real quick.
Yeah, it was late and incomplete.
Yeah, threw it in real quick.
I told you to write a 10-page paper. You wrote 6. I told you to turn it in on Wednesday in third period. You turned it in on Friday in fourth period.
And the 6 pages you double spaced.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just it's.
And it wasn't officially late. Don't get me wrong, and don't get the NFL wrong. But basically, the NFL said, "Look, man, you didn't know. Our deadline was the 22nd. You didn't apply until like the 16th.
Yeah, I mean, you're just.
It's like 4 business days, whatever.
And you weren't full in your explanation why you want to be in the supplemental draft, what happened in college to bring you to the supplemental draft. There was no falling on the sword.
Yeah, it's almost like he applied, going, you know what? Maybe they just don't know who I am.
Right? They've never heard of me. They don't pay attention to college.
And I thought about this when I was reading the letter for the first time. I thought about something Deuce told me. Our good friend Deuce Staley, who I worked with for many years on this radio station. And Deuce was like, Jay, if they have to, they will go back to people you knew in middle school.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's nothing, if they need to know something, if they want to know something about you before you go to the NFL or even while you're in the NFL. He's like, but he said, I can remember him looking at me going, they will go back to middle school.
Their investigative crew will go. I mean, they'll go talk to your elementary school lunch lady.
Yeah, I mean, they'll find.
Did he make fun of your mold? Did he eat the potatoes? I mean, they'll mess around, man.
They don't.
When the NFL wants to dig into your background, they will dig into your background. They will find you.
Yeah. So there's that. We'll see what happens next because this story is not over. The PGA Tour today announced promotion and relegation will be coming starting in 2028. They will call the top tier the Championship Series. The second tier will be called the Challenger Series. Roughly 120 golfers will be on the top tier, and about 90 every season starting in 2028 will remain on the top tour. And then about the next 30 or so spots, and there's some fluidity in there based on certain parameters that they have not yet completely been ironed out. About 20 to 30 will be relegated and then promoted every single year. They will keep the current signature events, add a few more. They'll have a lot of $20 million purses. Points will still count, big time for the majors, which are not part of the PGA Tour.
Right.
Plus the Players' Championship, the FedEx Cup playoffs, the Tour Championship, which is, by the way, going to move. It'll still be in Atlanta sometimes, but they will take the final Tour Championship, no pun intended here, on tour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so because it's been in Atlanta every year, I think since like 2004, and it's become a big deal, and that's where they win $10 million. That's not bad, Terry.
You know what?
You win that tournament, you win $10 million.
Yeah, but after taxes and agent fees and travel expenses,
it's like $7 million.
That's all.
It's not.
Doesn't sound as good as 10.
And you got to pay your daggum caddy.
Do you really? I mean, do you?
So anyway, I like this. I think this is going to work. And now I want the NFL and Major League Baseball to incorporate promotion and relegation. Think it'll happen?
No.
Of course you don't.
No, but you know what? You can dream, but now in American sports, it'll never happen.
It's not going to happen. It works.
No, well,
it works
because
the threat of losing half your revenue is a real threat. That's why it work,
because those owners aren't going to get together and go, "Yeah, let's vote that in."
Yeah, no. It works, man.
Especially Major League Baseball would never do it.
No, it's anyway. We'll see. But the PGA Tour is going to do it starting in 2028. NBA draft is tonight. Will it be? I don't know. Look, I don't know who I think is going to go first. I think it's going to be Debanza. I think it could be the Peterson kid. I've read more about Darren Peterson and his real medical issues and how real they were. Because some people said, he just didn't want to go hard for Kansas, but I don't know that that's true. I would still take Debanza. I just think he's, but here's the thing. Somebody has to go play for the Washington Wizards.
Maybe Debanza says, why don't you take Peterson?
Yeah, take Peterson.
Look, if I'm the Wizards putting the card up, it's Debanza. Look, Peterson, all these things may be true and this and that, but Peterson, there's just so much drama. and so much baggage. And if he's not scoring buckets, he doesn't make his teammates better. He's not a great passer. Defense is if I feel like it. And then I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know enough about what ticks in his head or his heart.
Right.
I'm taking Dabansa. In 11 games, he had 5 assists in 11 different games. So if he's not scoring, he's involving his teammates.
He's a distributing big, man.
He can, he can get better from 3, but he can score efficiently enough right now on all 3 levels. Not afraid to put it on the deck. He's got some yokeness to him, and he's a competitor. He's got some fire. And to me, this is not even a hard decision to take Dabansa. Again, look. Could Peterson get it together and be great? Sure. Could Peterson be that dude who plays for Sacramento, chucking up 25 shots a night, scoring 20 a game for a team that sucks? Yeah. Could he be out of the league in 3 or 5 years? Sure. Could he be a Hall of Famer? Yeah. I can't put my number 1 pick on that, Jay.
No, I
just can't.
I agree. Meanwhile, yesterday, big news, Dusty May left the University of Michigan to become the new head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. He'll be taking over the tutelage and development of Cooper Flagg, who was the Rookie of the Year, but the Mavs were 30 games under 500. Here's a little bit from Dusty on why this decision was made.
This is so interesting. It was on Field of 68.
All right.
Yeah, obviously, the frustration is there because you need multi-year contracts. You need, if we're going to, in my opinion, if we're going to sign a player from a mid-major, we should pay some form of buyout and compensation, which we kind of do now with money games. But the thing that frustrates me is even every time there seems to be a solution to, I guess, solve one of the biggest problems, then some of the more well-known coaches come out and say that affects them in a negative way. And there's a give and take with everything. There's going to be some negative, it's going to have a negative impact on someone. But I think rarely do we look at what's best for the enterprise of college basketball, what's best for the whole, instead of looking at it, what's best for my calendar. I mean, it's even with the NBA stuff, when you talk about, let's say players don't get drafted and they're able to go back to college, that is a horrible, horrible rule for head coaches, for myself. But everyone other than me, I think it's great if the players don't get drafted, they don't go high, they can come back and make the sport better. It's better for them, obviously, to be back on a college campus, growing and developing and making and being compensated well. And it's better for the fans. It's literally better for everyone except the college coaches who have to spend time recruiting, and then it impacts their decision on their rosters. So we obviously make decisions based on what's best for us. And so that's the most difficult part. I think if we all just took a step back and said, is this decision best for the enterprise of college basketball, for the students, for the game, and for our profession going forward, let's do it. If it's not, then we don't, as opposed to just sitting here saying, well, that's not going to be good for us at Michigan, so I don't support it.
So that was before he took the gig.
Yeah, as I say, and he decided, it's not.
So you just heard everything why he's now the head coach of Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, I think everything he said is spot on. I do think, by the way, and you and I have talked about this before, again, I go back to my love of European football. When you buy out a player's contract from a smaller club, you pay them a massive, sometimes a massive fee.
Right.
Sometimes there's even what's called a buy-on clause, where if he moves again, there's a percentage cut to the middleman. It works, and I think that's part of it. But again, multi-year contracts, all these kind of things. It's just he even, I know, not in that clip, but I know he had made mention that he didn't even get time to celebrate the title because the next day the portal was open.
Right, and he had to get in there and build his team. That's the problem. He's going to go where there's a CBA, where there are rules and guardrails, where he can actually get this thing called a vacation, where he can just deal with basketball and not only be the GM and the player personnel guy and everything else. This might not be the last time you see this.
No, I agree, and I think he's good. He's a great X and O guy.
Yeah, and just look. Typically, the college guys don't translate to the pro game. The pro guys don't translate to the college game. But I think right now that this thing's gone to hell. Yeah. And, Dusty May, maybe in a perfect world, wouldn't do this. But it's not a perfect world anymore. He's going to go to the NBA. Ready for this? It makes more sense there. How about that?
That's our headlines of the day. The Gamecock Notebook on the other side with some baseball transfer news. You're listening to the Postgame Show. It is Gamecock Notebook time. We just got an interesting hit from our buddy Jeff on the text line about the Dusty May situation. So I may get to that in just a second. So, Jeff, thank you for that. Sit tight. Meanwhile, though, let's get into a couple of things here. First off today, we learned that South Carolina right-handed pitcher Alex Philpott entered the transfer portal. He's the 23rd Gamecock to enter the portal, and the third to announce it since Kevin Schnall took over. So, look, Terry, I'm not sure, but it would lead you to believe that after having these conversations, guys decide, okay, maybe it's best for me to move on. He came to Carolina from Florida, did not have a good year last year, a 6.51 ERA and 27 2/3. And was primarily a bullpen guy. We also learned that Jake McCoy has a landing spot. Now, he had already entered the portal a few weeks back, but he is going to Tennessee. And now, this is a kid who's from South Carolina, and this one may stick in some people's craw around here a little bit. Of course, had Tommy John surgery in the offseason and did not pitch this past year. Simply announced it with a Go Vols on social media. He was at Carolina for 3 seasons, played in 2 of them. Over those 2 years, 5-5 with a 7.11 ERA in 26 games, 15 starts, 77 strikeouts in 2025. The interesting thing here is, despite those numbers and despite his surgery, he's a big lefty and is actually ranked
top 150
in the top 150 of the draft.
He could go.
So that's
fourth, fifth round.
That's probably inside the 5th round somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's been proposed as part of the new CBA to have basically etched in stone, but draft bonuses.
But right
now they're still written in fine pencil.
Oh, they're written, very fine.
You have a pool of money, but you can use it as you see. They have slot values,
but you can massage. You pay what they call underslot for a guy. If you look, there are teams that do this now. They'll draft a guy in the first round. Maybe, let's just say a team's picking 5th. They might take a guy who is looked at as more of a between 15 and 20 rated guy at number 5 because they pay him less.
Right.
Because he'll take less to be number 5.
Right.
And then you take that money you saved and you spend it later on a guy maybe like a McCoy who you want. You love his arm talent. You think you can fix the mechanical issues. You want him not to go back to school. You want him to come get in your organization. You might pay him more than a typical 5th rounder.
Well,
because you're saving yourself money earlier in the draft.
I mean, let's just be honest about it. Big lefties will always be a commodity.
I mean, if you're a lefty that throws high velocity, I mean, look. Is McCoy a finished product? Nowhere near it. He's got to get mechanical issues, command issues. He's got things he needs to fix. He's coming off of Tommy John.
He's got to rehab his arm.
And so you could take him maybe in the 5th round, give him above slot to make him not go back to college, and then you bring him in and you start to get him healthy and then work on the issues in his delivery and stuff like that. And maybe you get yourself a hell of a pitcher.
With 2 years of eligibility, he's got real negotiating
Yes,
power.
he does. That's why he might get over slot to go play in the majors, which would be. And if you can get over slot, you can't turn that down.
No, I would. Well, I don't disagree. Here's the thing: Tennessee is where he's headed.
Yeah, I don't
Tennessee likes to overslot, if you will.
You're not wrong. I just don't see. Here's my thing. I think to that point, when the other guy was the head coach, I don't know if their taste for the overslotting is as big as it used to be.
I don't know.
Now, if Tony was still there, absolutely.
What if Tony comes back?
After so far a few months of the majors, he might want to come back.
It ain't working.
It ain't working so far.
But it ain't his fault.
It ain't all his fault. That thing has been flawed for a few years now in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And
there's some things he's doing, like that thing the other day with Rafael Devers didn't go over well.
No.
Now, although I get it, if you didn't see it, and I know we're blending in different topics here. This is not Gamecock stuff, but Botello pulled Devers for a pinch runner. The thing is, Devers is a piano, and the other guy was a sprinter. But then it didn't matter because the dude at the plate popped up.
Right.
But anyway, it was a chance for the Giants to try.
Well, plus every little thing that Vitello does now that doesn't work is terrible and awful, and he's a hack, and he's a college coach, and in over his head, and blah, blah, blah. But to your point about McCoy, if Tennessee really wants McCoy badly, you see you kind of get an idea what that slot pricing is and what maybe in the pad, blah, blah. And then you go, okay, we'll offer you more to come here.
Right.
Me, I want to go play Major League Baseball. I want to start my pro career. If they're going to pay me a nice six-figure pop, I might have to go. Because what if I come back, Jay, and I'm still all over the place? And
well, do I know? And look, you don't make this decision lightly, so you have to believe in Tennessee's ability to help you rehabilitate
and develop.
By the way, fifth round this last year, fifth round slot values are in the mid 500,000 range.
So does Tennessee want to drop 550 for a guy coming off of Tommy John?
Good question.
Who's by the way, career ERA is over 7.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting.
It's an interesting conversation, though, isn't it?
When's the draft? Next week? No, it's the All-Star week.
Yeah,
All-Star week.
All-Star week.
Yeah, they moved it. Okay, I couldn't.
It used to be June.
Well, it used to be during the daggum World Series, and I'm like, this is.
It was during the World Series, during the College World Series, which was weird because all you heard about was where these guys are getting drafted, not about the College World Series.
That's what used to drive me nuts about Ravitch. I was like, hey, Ravitch, there's a tournament going on, and these guys are trying to play in the tournament, and all you're talking about is, well, the Yankees would love him. I'm like,
the draft position.
Shut up.
Yeah.
So thank God Ravitch doesn't have that anymore because I think he still would do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Remember, he was hosting Baseball Tonight for a minute or two.
Well, I felt like for a few years, and again, I'm blending different topics. I felt like for a few years, Carl Ravitch really felt like he was doing the Little League World Series and not the College World Series. I was like, these are pretty good baseball players, man. I realize it's not a Yankees Red Sox weekend. I get it. I get it.
Yep.
But you know what? They're not 11 eating peanut butter and jelly and drinking juice boxes.
Now, again, some of them are really
Although
17.
you might actually drink a juice box and have a peanut butter and jelly. I got no problem with that.
And some of them are 17 with an ID that says they're 11.
Sure.
But anyway.
Sure.
An 11-year-old has a sweet beard.
Yesterday, Wake Forest catcher Andrew Costello committed to South Carolina. So there's that.
I wonder where that Wake Forest connection's coming from, Jay.
Yeah, that helps. And today, J.D. Stein, Wake Forest shortstop, visited. No word on how that went.
Now that guy's interesting because he's coming off his freshman year, so he's got a lot of eligibility. 2 years roughly before he would be draft eligible.
And hit 300 in conference play and hit 4 of his 5 home runs in conference play. That's impressive.
Scuffled early and then got it going in conference play.
My one concern, and it's a big one, is he committed 12 errors last year. But you can also work on that.
Yeah, you got to clean that up. But he was a freshman.
Yeah.
But the good news is you got, again, 2 years, which in this world is like, wow, you get 2 years out of the portal, you take it.
That's right. That's our Gamecock Notebook for this Tuesday afternoon. We'll come back. Again, the SEC gets another baseball championship. Just how many is that in the modern, if you will, baseball era? We'll give you that as part of the Drive Around the SEC next.
We talk a ton about CHW cabinetry on this little radio show. And we say, we talk about they do things inside and outside the home. Both. They do cabinetry, wood countertops, hardware, accessories, closet collections, custom furniture, all of those things for the inside of your home. Whatever you're looking for to do inside the home, you sit down with them, kind of give them your goals and thoughts and your budget. They make that happen for you. Also, obviously outside the home, they will also take care of things when it comes to cabinetry or any kind of accessories. Inside or outside, CHW Cabinetry, give them a call, sit down with them, and tell them what you're looking for. They will do something called photorealistic renderings. If they do the job for you, you see everything from beginning to end, total transparency. Give them a call, 803-520-6837, 803-520-6837, CHW Cabinetry. All right, we've added up some accidents now. Atlas Road at Garner's Ferry, also Gervais at Hugie. Highway 321 at Glen Road, Summit Parkway at Ridge Trail Drive. Malfunction Junction still malfunctioning. And we have our typical construction all over the Midlands. Weather in the 80s right now will drop to about 68 degrees by 6 a.m., but again, nice and humid and steamy and not a lot of precipitation in the forecast for the next 12 hours-ish. We'll get back a drive around the SEC. Oklahoma winning the College World Series. We got that next on the post-game show here on the game.
It is Drive Around the SEC time here on this Tuesday. Welcome back in. Jay and Terry with you. Got our poll question running that involves the SEC. I'm going to read the poll question, then get you some results here, if I can get this to cooperate here. Here we go. If the Protect College Sports Act in D.C. gains traction, should the SEC and Big Ten ramp up talk of a Super League before that bill is potentially passed? Again, the bill precludes formation of a Super League.
Right.
A, yes, it's inevitable. B, no, let things play out. Or C, maybe, who else joins? According to Twitter, you got about 10 minutes left to vote. So I'm going to do this College World Series stuff. And then we'll come back with some results.
Back and see how it ends.
Yeah, so let's
do it.
We'll do that for you. Meanwhile, Oklahoma last night wins the College World Series in a runaway 13-2 the final. And without trying to disparage North Carolina, because I'm not, it wasn't that close.
No.
I mean, Oklahoma took control and kept control, and then late just decided to add a few more. I wouldn't even call them insurance runs. I don't know what you call them at that point, because it was 9-2, and they just said, let's score.
And then this is when it really it was done right here. Where is it at here? This is the Branch kid with the home run.
With the big homer.
This ball is hit to left. Did he do it? Nunez, he did it just like brother. A 3-run homer to put it away. Are you serious?
Good young fella's not a power hitter.
I chuckled a little bit when Ravitch said, that was ESPN's call, Ravitch on the call last night, when Ravitch said to put it away. I was like, dude, it was 9-2.
It was 9-2.
That made it 12-2.
I think Branch had six. He had 6 ribs. Not a power hitter.
Well, at that point, I mean, God bless him. I think the Heels pitchers, they're just
throwing it down the middle.
Yeah,
Let's get this over with.
Throwing the ball.
Well, the interesting thing is, because Branch's brother plays for Georgia.
Yeah.
His last at bat as a collegiate, he hit a home run. So both brothers did the same thing.
And they had a nice little hug on the field the other day.
And by the way, when you're sitting around trying to fill baseball time, you're working that angle every way you can. Sure. You got to work that angle.
I mean, and I feel, I had it, again, I did the split screen. Again, thank you, YouTube TV. I did the split screen last night. But it was, I don't want to say I felt bad for ESPN, but I think I felt bad for those of us that just love college baseball. I wanted a game. We had 2 games that were, I mean, I think we had a 6-run game and a 4-run game in games 1 and 2.
Yep.
And so I was just hoping, let's have a duel. Let's have,
it'd be fun.
Give me like a 4-3. I want something with a little bit of scoring, but a little bit of drama.
You want the time run at the plate.
Yeah, something.
Just hook me up with that. Give me that.
And we were talking earlier that even when it was 9-2, North Carolina had 2 on, 1 out. I think. I forget what inning it was. Maybe the 6th, 7th. I forget exactly. It doesn't matter. But I was like, well, you make it 9-5 here, and at least you feel
it gets interesting
closer,
now. Right?
But even then, would have still been a stretch.
Yeah, because it takes the bases low to get the tie run to the plate. Then, but if you get to 9-5. Now you start getting base runners when it gets juicy, right?
Yeah.
When it's 9-2, you're like, yeah, okay.
So, again, Oklahoma wins. That's Oklahoma's 3rd ever national championship, their first since 1994. But for the Southeastern Conference, and I'll kind of go backwards here a little bit, that's 7 straight for the Southeastern Conference. It's 11 of the last 20. And since the field expanded to 64 and they added the super regional round, the Southeastern Conference, that's 27 tournaments. The SEC has been the champion in 13 of them.
Look at that. Almost half.
So nearly half, but in the last 20 years, more than half, and now 7 straight.
Again.
It's, I believe, in order here, Terry, I hope I'm right. Of these 7, it's Vandy, Mississippi State, Mississippi, LSU, Tennessee, LSU, Oklahoma.
Sounds about right.
I think that's right.
I think you nailed
I
it.
might have the 2 Mississippis reversed,
But,
but I think it was State. I think it was State,
State got
then
it
Ole
before
Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, okay. So
Because State got it, and then everything went to hell.
yeah,
And Ole Miss, remember, there was some hot seating going on near the end of that season, and Ole Miss caught fire and won the whole thing as a 4 seed.
and in a couple of those, it was all SEC. Tennessee beat A&M,
Yep.
and I have to go back and look. But there's been a few SEC versus SEC.
Oh, yeah. And, again, besides Missouri, everybody takes this really, really, really seriously.
So again, if you look at the big sports, Big Ten got football, men's and women's basketball. Again, Denver won hockey. I don't know what conference for hockey. Hockey has a lot of different conferences anyway.
Yeah.
So whatever conference Denver is in, University of, because you did have a good one actually earlier today when you said, no, they're in the AFC West. That was funny. I chuckled.
I wasn't making that up.
No, you weren't. It's
The
true.
National Collegiate Hockey Conference, the NCHC.
Okay. But Denver won the hockey championship, but now the SEC has won baseball and softball. So at least they got something.
They got something.
Yeah.
It's not a lost season.
That's right.
They got something out of the deal. And you look, Oklahoma, again, they had a weird year. They started off well. They meandered around for a bit. They started playing better, lost their last 4 SEC series, didn't do anything great in the SEC tournament in Hoover. And then
Did you say they were number 11?
They
finished
were
11th in the league.
In the league.
Losing record in conference play.
Losing record in conference play. And this is what we talk about baseball all the time. Look, do the best teams win at times? Sure. We're not saying they never do. But baseball, man, it's such a peaks and valleys game. If the perfect storm hits and all of a sudden you get on a heater, you can do what Oklahoma did.
Yeah.
If you take this Oklahoma team, and again, go back a month, Jay, the way they were playing, they wouldn't be dogpiling.
Right.
But they got it cooking, and they got on a roll.
They kept it rolling, man.
And the momentum started. And they took out Kansas. They took out Georgia Tech.
On the road.
I mean, they were a thing, man.
Yeah, they were. So, yeah, the last few years, 25, 24, Tennessee A&M was the final. 23, LSU Florida was the final. 21, now, and you might look at 22, Mississippi beat Oklahoma. Oklahoma was still in the Big 12.
Big 12.
So 21 was State and Vandy. Let's see, 2017, Florida beat LSU. And, of course, Carolina beat Florida in 2011. So you've had a lot of SEC versus
a lot
SEC
of SEC
in the last 15
SEC
years.
violence.
Yeah.
Yep, you sure have.
So there you go, where you're guaranteed. That's one of those guarantee places where I can get that done.
And it's just so funny. You see a team like Oklahoma, you and I were discussing this for the last 3 weeks, just flew under the radar.
Yeah.
Flew under the radar, and you look up, and you're like, oh, my God, they just won the national championship.
All right, so going back to our Super League question, again, if the bill in the U.S. Senate begins to gain a little too much traction, makes the SEC and Big Ten a little uncomfortable, do they ramp up Super League talk and try to say to everybody, hey, we can still do this? If the bill stalls, we don't come hacking us off. Then your choice is yes, it's inevitable. No, let things play out. Or C, maybe who else joins. There's less than 2 minutes to go here, according to the timer. So these are going to be basically final results. 45.8% no. Let things play out. So most of you, but not a majority, but most of you say, hey, let it play out. Let's see what happens. 40.7%, so it's close. 40.7 say yes, it's inevitable. Let's see what happens. And again, a solid 13.6% say maybe who else joins. And again, earlier,
You got your 50.
I got the Super League to 50. I took the current 34 of those two conferences.
The Big Ten and the SEC.
And in the Big Ten, and I did the Big Ten a solid by putting nothing but AAU schools in.
Right.
Although, to be fair, I left out your almost Colorado Buffaloes because of your daughter. They're also in the AAU.
Yep.
And Utah is in the AAU.
Yeah.
But I put the two Arizonas in because they're both down near Phoenix. But Colorado has Denver.
Yep. I mean,
And Utah has Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And that's where that is. So,
Right.
any of them could be.
but I guess the adding of
Quality
BYU,
candidates.
even though BYU is a huge brand, still BYU also covers Salt Lake City in the state of Utah.
It does. And so in the SEC, in the Big Ten, we added Kansas, Pittsburgh, no particular order. Kansas, Pittsburgh, California, Stanford, Arizona State. And again, honorable mention to Colorado and Utah. And in the SEC, we added North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Miami, Clemson.
There you go.
And that gets 24 per conference. And then we threw in Notre Dame and BYU to make 50. There's your Super League.
There you go.
I doubt that's how it looks. I doubt they ever go that way. But I like to offer solutions to problems.
I feel like, though, we are, I don't know, tumbling headfirst into a Super League situation at some point. I just think the money is so gigantic. And you're going to get to the point, because, again, no one's thinking of the greater good of college athletics, and there's nobody in charge of the CEO of greater good of college athletics. I just feel like everybody's out for themselves. And at some point, if this congressional stuff continues where it's going, the SEC and the Big Ten are going to go, you know what, screw all of you.
Yeah.
Without us, you got nothing.
Yeah.
And we're basically carrying all of you.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Well, again, if you look at the top 100 games last year, just as one little slice of the pie,
Yep.
93 of the top 100 games featured an SEC school. 59 of the top 100 games featured a Big Ten school. Many of them were SEC versus Big Ten. 23 only for the ACC, and 14 for the Big 12.
So what does that tell you?
It's a market-driven business.
Yeah,
That's the drive around the SEC. Jay versus the Internet next.
Antetokounmpo for 3.
How funny is that?
Welcome back in. Let's do it again. Can you do it again?
This is Kevin Harlan in Giannis's rookie year trying to say Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo for 3.
To be fair, nobody knew how to say it.
That's true. But he's Kevin Harlan, man.
I know. It's so funny. I got to do that again.
Antetokounmpo for 3.
So good. I told you you'd laugh your tail off when I played it.
Antetokounmpo. How do you even get? Where's the B come from?
I got no clue.
Anyway, that's quality stuff. Yeah, Giannis traded yesterday to the Heat. And who else is going with him? Bobby Portis?
Bobby Portis.
Yeah, that's you know.
I mean, Miami's got to get some depth in the backcourt now. They've traded away a bunch of their depth. Look, here's the thing. For Milwaukee trading him now, in what is the final year of the deal before the player option would kick in.
And for him, my God.
You got as much as you could get
What's he
for
gonna
him.
make?
$1 billion.
Oh, it's not 50, right?
Insane.
He's going to be like 70.
Oh, it's going to be 70. It's going to be ridiculous. Right now, I think it's 50-something.
Yeah.
So, in the position you were in, if you were Milwaukee, trading him as late in the game as you did, you got the best you probably could have gotten. Because you know what? Look, no offense to Jaylen Brown. He's a hell of a player. But Jaylen Brown's 30. Mm-hmm. You're rebuilding. Why are you bringing in Jaylen Brown if you're going to rebuild? Because Jaylen Brown wants to win.
Right.
So, you went out and did what you did. And you got some Tyler Hero, solid player. You got some interesting pieces to go with him with young guys. You got a boatload of draft capital, and you move Giannis along and that contract. You know, you should have traded him the year before. Then you really could have got something.
And they say they couldn't find the right deal. I don't think they tried that hard.
I think they were trying to keep him, and that's why they went out and made that terrible signing of Miles Turner, which was terrible.
Yeah, I think Truck Stop Jimmy thought that. And if you're wondering, yes, Truck Stop Jimmy Haslam owns the Bucks too.
You know what's funny? The Bucks really started going sideways when what happened, Jay?
When Truck Stop Jimmy bought him.
Yeah. So I mean, the Bucks did the best they could. Look, with Miami, look, Giannis is 31 years old. He's still, when healthy last year, was Giannis.
It's hard to believe that this was his 13th NBA season.
He's 31. The minutes he has logged are just crazy. Yeah. So you probably have a 2 to 3 year window tops with Giannis while he's still close to Giannis.
I think Spoles and Pat will.
They got to get a couple guards in there.
I think they will.
They need some shooting. Look, if you want to win with Giannis and with Bam, you got to put some shooting around those guys. Yeah. And right now, they don't have a whole lot of that. They got to get more shooting. Remember, that's how Milwaukee won the championship. Giannis was killing people at the rim, and they surrounded Giannis with shooters.
Right.
So that's what you got. And Giannis is not quite the defensive beast. Now he's just really good defensively.
Right.
He used to be a killer.
Yep.
Ask LeBron. But anyway, anyway, that's I got to do this one more time.
Antetokounmpo for 3.
So good.
Do it again.
I got it one more time.
Antetokounmpo for 3.
So good. I love Kevin Harlan.
He's awesome.
But that's so
He's
funny.
awesome. Kevin Harlan is I mean,
I love him better basketball than football.
I agree because I just think his style just is better with basketball. But he's good in the NFL. He does a great NFL. He's a great NFL guy.
Antetokounmpo for 3.
All right. Jay versus the Internet tonight. Panama, Croatia, World Cup soccer.
Oh.
Both need to win.
Draw.
There'll be 2 draws for both of them. Congo and Colombia tonight.
Colombia's going to win.
Colombia will win.
Although I like Congo, man, but I think Congo got everybody's attention in the Portugal match. Mm-hmm. Colombia is very good, and I think Colombia will win.
Portugal, Uzbekistan.
I'm going to go Portugal 5-0.
That was earlier.
How's that?
We're just playing around.
And don't say anything about the England game because I got it on tape. So
I won't say a word.
So please let's move along.
I won't say a word about that.
If you want to ask me some NBA draft questions,
all right, ready?
Feel free.
I'm gonna give you an over/under on the NBA draft.
Okay.
I'm looking through mock drafts. I only see 1 to 2 foreigners being taken in the first round. So I'll give you, sir, an over/under. Foreigners taken in the first round this year's NBA draft, 1.5.
Over.
I'll tell you the thing that's interesting. From 20 to 30, this draft is going to get a little clunky.
Yeah.
It's very top-heavy with talent, like generational-type talent.
Yeah.
But it's not real deep as you get past 20. I think you're going to see a few more Euros than people believe, maybe in that range where you can draft.
They're polished, man.
You can draft them and stash them, too, for a year or two.
They're polished.
Very technically sound, skill-wise, they're fundamentally sound as well. I think you're going to see some drafting the Euros and stashing them for a year or two between that 20 and 30 tonight.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I was telling you, and he's mocked right now to Sacramento, I think, Darius Acuff. But
you can shoot it, man.
I like that kid, man. SEC Player of the Year.
I like him a lot.
And he's not afraid to shoot.
He passes it well.
I'm not saying he's Steph because I don't want to put that on anybody, but he's got that quick trigger and he's confident.
The only thing with him is he finishes below the rim, and in the NBA you got to figure out how to finish below the rim.
Yeah.
Going up against the bigs in today's league, but he can shoot it, man. He passes it.
He can learn how to do that.
I love his makeup.
Yeah.
I like him too.
Yeah. See you all tomorrow.
Right. Thanks for hanging out with us, watching, listening. Do it tomorrow.
And one final note from our good friends at AAA Heating and Air. I don't know if you've looked at the forecast for the coming weekend, but it goes from hot to stupid hot. Yeah, that's the way it is around here. So if you have still been putting off an AC system inspection, or if you've been putting off a new system because you just, for whatever reason, now's a great time. And listen, when you do want a new system at AAA Heating and Air, the chances are very, 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 very high that you call them, like tomorrow, and let's see, what's tomorrow? Wednesday? By Thursday, they'll have you a new system installed. I mean, they're that quick, all right? And then you're way ahead of what's coming. But maybe it's just a quick system inspection. Maybe you're just having a little issues. They can get that done for you, too. 803-677-1500. They got a lot of great deals for you, including saving up to $1,500 on a brand new system. 803-677-1500. Work with my friends at AAA Heating and Air.